as a teenager, my church only taught one perspective on an idea or theology. And I honestly didn't even know there were other perspectives on certain theologies until college. Like, you would think that possibly they would have said, well, other denominations believe, and like insert any theological thought here. But they're just wrong. And here's why. Nope, they didn't even say that. They didn't even recognize it. So when I took theology classes in college, it was like walls were falling down around me, and I realized I was living in a theological broom closet within this cathedral of historic belief. Now, one day after class, that really stretched a lot of our brains, I noticed two other students in a heated debate about like the two sides of the issue presented. But in the class, these two students didn't even know that these issues like existed. And now here they are like arguing about something that they just learned about literally like 3 minutes ago. I don't know what it is, but we just love to argue and debate, and to a point it can help. Like, it can help us grasp a belief better. But when we start weaponizing our ideas, things get a little rough. But how can we do it in a healthy way? Now, our passage today actually starts with a healthy kind of debate. Two disciples are walking along the road to Emmaus on the day of the resurrection. This is Easter day, well, evening. And Jerusalem is winding down after this real high, like, Passover, as well as the uproar of Holy Week and all the stuff that happened from the triumphal entry to the public trial of Jesus to the execution via crucifixion, and now these rumors of Christ's resurrection. Like, they got a lot to talk about. And it says that they're talking and discussing, which is a double verb usage, like two. And the word for talking is the same word we get homily from. You know, like a short little sermon is a homily. So here they are processing ideas to each other, but the word discussing means to investigate together. So they propose an idea in the talking or homily section, and then they discuss it and investigate it together. And this is how we make meaning together. Like, we feel safe to throw an idea out there without being ridiculed, but also our value as a person is not tied to the idea being right and correct. And we can talk about things. We can investigate ideas together. We're open to being wrong. We're open to learning from one another. We're open to teaching one another. But when we make a weapon out of our idea, it becomes an ideal with an L on the end. And then we make a meme out of it, a t-shirt out of it, a slogan out of it. Right? Like, armies in ancient times would gather under banners and flags, especially when they had to regroup from a battle for a second wave of attack. Now, our ideals can become similar to banners in warfare. We gather those people who agree with us to our side under this ideal. We adopt like apocalyptic language to sway those we're not sure which banner to gather under. Right? If you don't promote this idea, it's the end of our people, our nation, our church, our political party, our world, whatever. Right? And we can then become very abusive, manipulative, and dangerous. Now, the two disciples obviously love Jesus. They're moved by his story and disturbed by his death. But it is possible that they adopted Jesus as the mascot for their ideal of gaining political power, which we still do that. Using God as a means to gain worldly power, to exercise your will upon the world, is not Christian, even if it's perceived as having Christian ends. That is actually called oppression. The resurrection is not about swapping out oppressors with Christian ones. It's a different kind of power. Best said by Howard Thurman. Power without love is reckless and abusive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. You see, it's about a non-violent resistance to oppression that desires the redemption of the oppressor as well as the oppressed, because our salvation as a people is bound up with one another.